Hello and welcome to this video where I will explain the difference between the prepositions at, in and on used referring to time and used referring to place, right? They're trickier, but you'll see it's super simple, right? I have made this triangle, inverted triangle, so that you can have an idea, you can visualize, right? In is used for bigger time periods or bigger locations. On is when you're being more specific about time or place. And of course at is when you're kind of very specific about moments and locations, right? So if we have a look at in, used in time, as I said before, it's used for bigger periods of time. So we talk about centuries, decades, right? Like, I don't know, I loved the 80s music, right? For example, when we refer to years, I was born in 1977. Or when you talk about the seasons or the months of the year, right? I was born in June, I was born in spring or in summer. Of course, when you talk about time periods, like I'll be there in 1 hour, or he'll arrive in 40 minutes, right? And then, as you have seen, I have written parts of the day with, haha, be careful with this, right? It's because we normally say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but we say at night, right? So parts of the day, yes, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at night is the exception, okay? On, as I mentioned before, as when we're being kind of more specific, but not too precise, right? So we talk about the days of the week. I go swimming on Mondays, or I play tennis on Thursdays, right? Or the meeting is on Saturday, right? When you talk about specific days, like for example, your birthday, my birthday is on the 9th of June, or all the family meets on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, it's the 25th December. I mean, that's it, right? And then, as I said, dates, right? We will arrive in London on the 11th of April, right? And as I mentioned before, at is when you're being, very specific, quite precise, right? Or you want to talk about an exact point in time. Definitely when you're talking about hours or holiday periods, right? We'll see at 10. Or the meeting is tomorrow at 5, right? And then the holiday periods are very specific, At Christmas, the Christmas holiday, or at Easter. Easter is a very specific holiday period, okay? And if we move towards the place, it's the same. When we talk about bigger locations, such as towns, cities, parts of towns and cities, right? Say, I live in Barcelona, or I live in Valencia, or, right? Countries. I was born in England, right? Or parts of countries, like my dad was born in Guadalajara, right? The cardinal points, yeah? In the north, in the south, in the east, in the west, right? And then within set borders of a 3D space, for example, you are in a box, in a room, yeah, that's a 3D space, okay? Now, on, when we're being more specific, we use on, right? So this is when we are referring to streets, where you live. For example, where do you live? I live on Madison Square, I don't know. Or avenues, or floors. I live on the second floor. Or, I don't know. Now I can't come up with another idea, right? We'll meet on the 4th floor of El Corte Inglés, right? And then when we're talking about two-dimensional surface, but do not penetrate it, it's kind of, my book is on the table, right? Or the poster is on the wall. You see, on the wall, right? It's kind of the surface, but not inside. You know, it's kind of touching the surface. So it's on the wall, right? The picture is hanging on the wall, right? And then again, at, when you're being very specific, when you give your address, right? Or you talk about specific locations and places. You talk, I don't know, you're going, I don't know, you'll meet at the airport or are at the train station, for example, right? And of course, a spatial location, for example, when you are at the bus stop or you are sitting at your desk, right? That's the idea. But we'll have a look at the exceptions, of course. So basically, right? Summary. When do I use in? Well, when referring to place, right? When you're talking about something that you can physically go in, you can physically enter, you know, the 3-dimension thing, or you can place something inside, right? I'm standing in the room, or I put the chicken in the oven, right? Or my wallet is in my pocket, yeah? When do I use at? Specific location or place. For example, wait for bus number 39 at the bus stop, or I buy my groceries at the farmer's market. Turn left at the end of the block. You know, I'm giving very, very, very specific locations, right? Remember, I gave you before the example, we sit at your desk, right? Because you're sitting on a chair near the desk, right? Yes? Okay, good. When do I use on? Well, when we want to say something is resting on a vertical or horizontal surface, right? We sat on the bench. I put the poster on the wall. Put your feet on the floor. You see, I mean, you kind of touch it, but you're not penetrating, right? Yes? And now I wanted to share this with you because in these cases it's kind of exceptions, right? So we are at home, at work, at school, at university, right? In a car, in a taxi, in a helicopter. So careful with that. On a bus, on a train, on a plane, on a ship. These are very commonly used words that sometimes we confuse. Okay? Well, that's all. I hope it has helped and happy to share. See you around. Bye.